And I have to tell you directly and personally that I regret voting for you for Secretary of State. I yield back.
May I respond?
You may sit.
Well, first of all, your regret for voting for me confirms I'm doing a good job, based on what I know.
Well, that's just a flippant statement, Mr.
for.
Secretary.
Can I respond, Mr. Chairman?
You may.
I didn't ask
Senator,
questions.
please let the Secretary have
I'd be
the floor.
happy to, but then I can respond to his
Your
response.
time's up, Senator, and willfully used, I might add.
Well,
Our foreign policy doesn't require even-handedness. It requires prioritizing the interests of the United States.
The phrase says you are entitled to entrance as a refugee if you demonstrate a well-justified fear of persecution.
No, you're not entitled.
So
you're
can
allowed.
you have a different standard based upon the color of somebody's skin? Would that be acceptable?
Well, I'm not the one arguing that. Apparently you are, because you don't like the fact that they're white, and that's why they're
just
coming.
say that would be unacceptable.
Well, no,
that
I would say that the United States,
a very easy thing
the United
to say.
States has a right to pick and choose who they allow into the United States.
Even based on the color of somebody's skin.
No one's. You're the one that's talking about the color of their skin, not me. These
You're
are people whose
refusing to
farms were being
acknowledge
burned
that
down
it
and they were
should be
killed because of the
even-handed.
color of their skin.
Well,
I'm.
Left losing it because the Trump administration is granting refugee status to a few dozen Afrikaners. Of course, white landholders are increasingly fleeing the racial hatred and violence of modern-day South Africa, but MSNBC would prefer them to stay where they are. Here is Donna Edwards.
Well, in my view, what makes it different is that they are white South Africans. The president, in my view, has not hidden his racism behind a bushel. In fact, you know, in his policies, whether it's removing government workers or, in this case, admitting white South Africans while denying refugee status, asylum seekers from other countries.
Disgraceful. And the race baiters are in the churches too. Here is Bishop Sean Rowe.
We can't be ourselves in the Episcopal Church and take the step of resettling white Afrikaners from South Africa. Our church has a long commitment to racial justice and reconciliation, and we have historic ties with the Anglican Church of South Africa. Desmond Tutu is a part of, been a partner was a partner in this work for us. So we're just not able to take this step. It's not in line with anything that we're about.
And let's have a quick look at what's happening in South Africa. Here is a politician calling for white women, white children, and even their pets to be killed.
One of us will kill 5 white people, will kill their children, will kill their women, will kill anything.
And here is a politician leading a stadium full of people calling for, and I quote, shoot to kill the boer, kill the farmer. But MSNBC and CNN and the rest of them must have missed all that. If you want to see how loathsome and intolerant these leftists are, then look no further than Ashley Allison, who firstly seems to be quite happy with the discriminatory laws in South Africa, and then she really ramps up the bigotry.
That allowed for a racial reconciliation, one that this country has yet to do, but South Africa did it, and they reformed their constitution, and part of that is that the people who are native to that land deserve their rightful land back. That is not what the Afrikaners actually want to have happen, which are the white Africans, and so who are not originally from Africa, who colonized South Africa also. And so that is what they are saying is discrimination. Now, if the constitution in South Africa is discriminatory, they have their checks and balances in that land just like we do, and that is for them to. So if the Afrikaners don't actually like the land, they can leave that country.
They're leaving to come here.
No, they can
these refugees are coming here.
They can actually leave and go to where their native land is, which is probably Germany.
Are you against them coming here?
Holland, probably. Holland.
Are you against them coming here?
I'm against the hypocrisy of this administration.
No, that's not the question. The question is, are you against them coming here?
If there was actually a genocide happening.
So, Afrikaners being murdered in their own farms should flee to where they came from almost 500 years ago. The Dutch settlers, the Afrikaners, first arrived in Africa in 1652. But they need to go back to Holland. But some gangbanger from El Salvador who was in America 5 minutes and entered illegally, well, they've got to be considered American and given all their rights. Let's allow Ashley Allison to finish her asinine point.
I'm not opposed to Venezuelans and South Americans coming to America if they are fleeing and looking for asylum. What I am
just these 50 people you're against.
I am against, it's not about being against them. What I am against is that they are being given special treatment when there is not a genocide happening in South Africa, and they just don't like the law of the land. Well, so you know what they tell people?
Yes, they don't like the law of the land in South Africa, the ones where their land is seized without compensation. Great point, Ashley.